It's officially July, which means it's the first month of Cowboys football. The first time we get to see the 2023 Dallas Cowboys in action. On July 26th, the team kicks off their training camp, and that means that every eye is going to be trained on each of these guys, critiquing every play, trying to guess the 53-man roster, and trying to get a look at the Cowboys 2023 team before the season kicks off. Don't worry, I'll be covering every single story, rumor, update, and play from Cowboys camp. So if you're not, please make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss a single thing. This is the ultimate Dallas Cowboys training camp preview. Let's get into it. Let's start with the most important position on the football field, quarterback. Dak Prescott is going to get all of the first team reps. That's a given. But this training camp, I want to keep an eye on his ball security. Last season, he led the league in interceptions despite missing 5 games. So I'm interested to see how confident he is in his receivers this time around. Is he pushing the ball down the field? Is he trusting his guys to make a play? That's what I'm going to be looking for from the Cowboys' #1 quarterback. Behind him, I think it's a given that Cooper Rush is the favorite to win the quarterback 2 spot behind Dak. I'm not going to be too focused on him because I'll be honest, I don't want him to play. But we'll get a good look at him in the preseason, presumably taking a majority of the first half snaps throughout preseason football. Quarterback 3 is going to be Will Grier, who I really thought was going to beat out Cooper Rush last training camp, but unfortunately didn't look great in the preseason. Grier will get a lot of preseason work as well, but I'm interested to see how he looks in a new Mike McCarthy West Coast offense. Last preseason, Grier was trying to be a playmaker, a sort of gunslinger type quarterback. Let's see if he keeps that up. I did like his aggressiveness. He just didn't make as many throws and plays as you would hope for him to win that quarterback 2 spot. I don't really think it's a competition. I think Cooper Rush wins that job. In the backfield, you will have Tony Pollard. Your starting running back is coming off his first 1,000-yard season with the team and a pretty gruesome leg injury in the playoff loss against the San Francisco 49ers. I expect that Pollard will be back and getting reps with the first team, but I doubt we'll really see much of him in preseason action. Based on the website I'm using, listed as the running back 2 behind Tony Pollard is second-year player Malik Davis. I'm not saying I think he's going to be running back 2, but this is how the list works. Davis did get a few carries in 2022 and flashed in some moments. I'll be interested to see if he's running with the second team or the third team and how much the Cowboys are asking him to do, especially in pass protection. He's going to be competing with a plethora of guys. One of those guys is going to be the number 3 back in Duece Vaughn, the pick that I think everyone is super excited about out of Kansas State. With Duece, I'm going to be looking at what they're going to be asking him to do. I doubt he's going to get a whole lot of pass protection duties, but I'm interested in where he fits on this offense. Is he running wheel routes out of the backfield? They have him running tosses. What is his role in training camp? And I think that'll give us a good idea of how they feel like they should use him. Listed as the number 4 and number 5 running backs are Rico Dowdle and Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones has played on a couple teams throughout his NFL career. I think he has a better chance to win that running back 2 spot, but this is something that needs to get sorted out in training camp. And just like every other position we're going to talk about, watch which team these guys are running with. We know Pollard's going to get first team reps, but who wins that running back 2 spot? While that seems like a lot of names and a lot of competition, there's another guy listed as a fullback that could make this team and have an impact this season, and his name is Hunter Lipke. The Cowboys typically carry 3 running backs, so I would pay attention to see if Lipke could win that number 3 spot as the team's power back. A player that they lost in Ezekiel Elliott, a goal line back, because as much as I love Pollard, he has struggled in short yardage situations. And I don't think that Duece Vaughn is going to be your 3rd down back either. So I really think that opens the door for Hunter Lipke to win that running back job. Let's continue with some more playmakers. We have wide receivers. The obvious 3 are Ceedee Lamb, Brandin Cooks, and Michael Gallup. This will be the first time that we get to see all 3 of these guys on the field together. together. So I'm interested how much Ceedee is playing in the slot and on the outside. Do the Cowboys have a lot of plays with Brandin Cooks down the field? And how does Michael Gallup look another year removed from his surgery? Behind those three guys is where it gets interesting. You have Simi Fehoko, Jalen Tolbert, Kevontae Turpin, Jalen Brooks, Dennis Houston, Dontario Drummond, and Jalen Marino Cropper. Kevontae Turpin could be a tricky one if the Cowboys think they can find punt return and kick return duties elsewhere. But for now, let's act like Turpin is completely safe. That leaves you with 2 wide receiver spots, considering the Cowboys usually carry 6. And right now, I have Simi Fehoko and Jalen Tolbert rounding out that wide receiver room. Tolbert was a 3rd round pick that the Cowboys heavily invested in, so I imagine they're going to give him every shot to win that number 4 spot. Simi Fehoko played great last year in training camp, but unfortunately got hurt in week 4 or 5 of the season and was not seen on the field again. Those spots are not guaranteed. You have other guys like Dennis Houston, who made the week 1 roster last year out of camp. 7th round pick this year, Jalen Brooks, who is a big body. Dontario Drummond, a guy that is your typical X receiver that a lot of people liked last year that they signed as an undrafted free agent. And then my pet cat, Jalen Marino Cropper, the undrafted free agent out of Fresno State. I made a video on him, so if you want to check that out after this video, it'll be linked down below. And just like a lot of positions that we're going to talk about on this team, there's a lot of competition on the back end of these groups. Watch how they look in the offense, what team they're getting reps with, and how they look in one-on-one drills with the corners. I literally named my channel after a route that wide receivers run, so you already know this is going to be my favorite group to watch in camp. Expect a lot of wide receiver videos. Next up, we have the offensive line. Right now, it's listed as Tyron Smith at left tackle, Tyler Smith at left guard, Tyler Biadasz at center, Zach Martin at right guard, and Terrence Steele at right tackle. Right off the bat, I'm interested in how these guys are lining up. Is Tyron Smith your left tackle? Is Tyler Smith your left guard? Because there's been a lot of talk this offseason that Tyler Smith is the team's left tackle. Based on reports this offseason, it doesn't seem like Terrence Steele is going to be ready for the beginning of camp and maybe the beginning of the season. So the team could move Tyron Smith to right tackle. Tyler Smith is your left tackle with Biadasz and Martin in their usual spots. That leaves us with a huge hole at left guard. Right now, you have a couple of options. Chuma Edoga, the free agent left guard that the Cowboys picked up, and Awesome Richards, the 5th round pick out of Carolina in 2023, along with Josh Ball, who the Cowboys have been working at guard. With Steele likely missing the beginning of camp, maybe all of camp, and the beginning of the season, after this offseason, I think the biggest concern for me is guard right now. Things could change if Steele comes back healthy, moving Tyron back to left tackle, and then Tyler Smith into left guard. To finish the offense, let's take a look at the tight ends. Jake Ferguson is listed as tight end 1 with Luke Schoonmaker and Peyton Hendershot as your number 2 and number 3. And I think that's how we're going to see it to start in camp. I do think Jake Ferguson is going to get first team reps with Luke Schoonmaker maybe rotating in, with Peyton Hendershot and Sean McEwen getting those 2nd and 3rd team reps. This is another position group battle that I am super interested in. Schoonmaker was your 2nd round pick this year and has a ton of athletic upside with a good bit of blocking ability. I've also made a video on him as well. All the videos I've made of players will be linked down below. Peyton Hendershot is your undrafted tight end from your 2022 class, and he had his moments last year as well. I assume he'll be competing with McEwen for that number 3 tight end spot, and he likely beats him out because it seemed like the Cowboys really liked Ferguson last year. I know that this position group has a lot of young guys that haven't yet proven themselves, but this is one of my favorite position groups on the offense. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, the defensive training camp preview will be coming out very, very soon, so stay tuned for that. I love you all. Bye.
Go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave.